What is up, everyone? All right. Yesterday was my birthday, so I figured I'd do a kind of fun video to let you guys know a bit more about me. And so I have the kind of cliche at this point, but the 28 facts for my 28th birthday. Number one, I never know what to ask for my birthday from people I know well. I'm definitely not an easy person to buy gifts for. Number two, last year, my mom actually got my car inspected for me, which was a great gift because I'm pretty bad at, like taking care of whatever or like I'll pay bills and stuff, but it's annoying. Like, please let me just put auto bill pay on, and that's the dream. Oh, number three, what I asked for in my video last year when I was barely recording videos, but last year I asked everyone to register to vote and to vote. That is my request of all you subscribers for this year as well. If you go to vote411.org, you'll get a personalized ballot. When you type in your address, it'll tell you who's your candidates are, who your congressperson is, and who's running against them and stuff like that. And it'll also tell you how to register to vote where you are. So yeah, that's a great resource that I always recommend. Number four. Oh, geez. This is the most controversial one. So I'm not a dog person at all. Oh my gosh. Dogs are all right or whatever, but oh my God, the hate comments that I'm going to get. No, but seriously, it's always funny because dogs love me. Whenever I go to my friend's house and their dog's sitting some new dog that I've never met before, they always want to hang around me, and I'm like, no, go hang around someone who likes you more. All right, number five. I do kind of like cats though. We never had dogs or cats growing up, but I like cats. Yeah, that's just it. I like cats. I don't know what else to say. Number six. I'm a huge soccer fan. I played in high school and I wasn't that good, but it's fun. I like to watch it. I'm from Western Massachusetts, so I'm a big New England Revolution fan. Even though, yeah, I know, guys, MLS is not as good as European soccer. Yes, I understand. Or football, as you guys call it. But yeah. Number seven, I didn't talk about my education at all, I don't think, at any point. But I went to UMass Amherst, which is the main UMass. And yeah, I have a psychology 4-year degree. Number eight. Okay, this is a weird one, but I have to buy duct tape. And the reason for that is because I'm a huge chair, I'm very picky about what I sit in. And even bad chairs, sometimes I'm oh, this is great. I love this chair. And then if I get a new chair, I'm super uncomfortable. But the reason I need duct tape is because I've had this same chair for a very long time and the leather is starting to peel. So yeah, here's the chair and it's just disgusting. And I ran out of duct tape because I'm retaping it. You know how people have the duct tape wallets or whatever? Yeah, that's what I'm doing with my chair. Hopefully the mic picked all that up all right. All right, number nine. My dream used to be to open up a board game store or maybe a board game cafe or something. And yeah, that would have been great. But I'm glad I didn't, because if I opened it in 2019 or something, I would have had to close it immediately. Number 10, no one's asked me this yet, but I feel the question is coming, so I will answer it preemptively. So I know a lot of booktubers have those videos where they have a game and then they decide their TBR by rolling dice or doing stuff on the game. So I thought about making a satirical way to choose my TBR by taking out one of my most complex board games and just having a 30-minute video to pick one book or something. I don't know why. I just think that's a hilarious idea. And maybe one day I will actually do the whole board game to pick my TBR sort of thing. I don't know. We'll see. Number 11, I've never faked reading a book since high school. In high school, all the time. Assigned reading. Oh, yeah, of course I did that. Uh-huh. No, I wasn't like a huge reader in high school, believe it or not. Number 12 is I've never really like watched an anime. I've watched some of like Avatar The Last Airbender and Star Wars Clone Wars and, some other things. But like, like I've never watched like real anime, I guess, and I've never really read mangas either. And I've like been meaning to do it for such a long time. And, maybe one day. I've been watching less things like movies and TV recently as well. So we'll see, I guess. So I share a birthday with Will Smith, Donald Glover, and Mark Hamill. So I'm basically Luke Skywalker. All right, 14. I've always had the dream to run a marathon. I'm definitely not fit to do that right now. But, a little training. One day, maybe. One day. Oh, yeah. Speaking of video ideas. So this is number 15. This is like really weird. But so you guys probably know who Stephen Colbert is. He's like a late night show host now. And he used to do the Colbert Report, which he made fun of, right-wing hacks like Bill O'Reilly. And Bill O'Reilly had this weird like gotcha moment with him because he goes by Stephen Colbert. But apparently when he was younger, dun dun dun, he went by Steve Colbert, which is, the same name, just not pronounced in a French way. But I have like that same situation, because my name is Gregory LaPerche, but people call me Greg. But like if I like had like a show, I could go by Gregory LaPerche in like a super French accent, Oh man, I don't know why, but like I've thought about doing something like that and then just getting attacked by right-wing hacks for like using a short and clear and obvious nickname for Gregory. I don't know. Is that a fact? I don't even know if that's a fact. That's just like a weird tangent. Some of these are just stories and not facts. It's my birthday, and I'll do what I want to, okay? Number 16 is roosters, and that is because my neighbor growing up always had roosters, and they would be like right outside my bedroom window, and they would wake me up way too early. I hate roosters. Can't they just like be quiet? 17, guilty pleasure show is The Bachelor, and this is like a recent since quarantine occurrence. I don't know why. I just think it's like a weird combination of like funny, like romance drama. I don't know. And I don't like really read romance too much, but yeah, I don't know. It's my guilty pleasure. I don't need to explain. Shoot, did I miscount this? I don't even know. This is what happens when I don't go in order. All right, we're going to go with number 18. I'm thinking about starting an Instagram. Maybe when I get to 100 subs, I'll start taking bookish pictures and join that Instagram booktube community that I feel like I've been a little disconnected from. Actually, just completely disconnected from, if we're being honest. Number 19, most people call me Greg. I should have said this when I was talking about the Stephen Colbert thing, but you guys can call me Gregory or Greg or whatever. Second Gregory, maybe, for some of you. Number 20, I knocked on doors for Bernie Sanders in the primary in New Hampshire. That was a weird noise. Number 21, while I was knocking on doors, I wasn't driving, but I carpooled with someone, and their car got wrecked and rear-ended. So, I mean, here we are stranded in New Hampshire, but we went to a Bernie speaking event at the Claremont High School, and I was volunteering at the door and helping anyone with disabilities get, like, go past the line and get in faster. But that job was perfect for trying to get a ride 3 hours home back to Massachusetts, because I could just, like, talk to people when they came in and be like, hey, where are you from? And most people would be like, oh, Vermont. Oh, New Hampshire. But then I found someone from Western Mass, and we hitched a ride, which was great. Number 21, my mom is a midwife, so I have like random like women health delivering baby facts in my head that I don't like even know I have. I'm just like, oh, I heard my mom talking about that like 4 years ago to like some patient or something while she was on the phone. And it's just like, it's very random, my midwifery knowledge. And definitely not comprehensive. Don't come to me with, baby delivering advice or anything. Number 22, for me, the most important political issue is healthcare. The reason for this is I work for a hospital. I talk to patients every day, and, it's absolutely heartbreaking. In addition to these people having, cancer or some other horrible medical condition, they also have to deal with, medical bankruptcy or, extreme medical debt that they probably may never be able to pay off. Sometimes their medical condition makes it so that they've lost their job. So they struggle even more to pay off their bills. And this isn't like a niche thing. This happens daily. I talk to usually multiple people in a similar situation. And just to kind of explain my previous one where I said I supported Bernie Sanders in the primary, healthcare is the biggest reason. He's the only person who consistently for decades and decades has been in favor of a single-payer universal healthcare system that would guarantee everyone in this country coverage universally. Like, if you're a taxpayer, you're covered, full stop, which is literally what every country in Europe does. I know BookTube is a phenomenal international community, and, just ask someone in Canada or ask someone in Europe if you're a U.S. citizen how much they've had to pay for healthcare. And you know what? Chances are that the number they say is between, I definitely no more than like $100 or something like that. Whereas people get hosed with like an ambulance ride will cost thousands of dollars here. And it's, again, I hear these stories every day and it's just tragic. And it's unacceptable. In a first world country, it's unacceptable. All right, number whatever we're on. So I know some people, maybe marketing gurus or whatever, will say, Greg, it's not smart to talk about politics. You want to appeal to as wide of a set of people as possible. Well, I don't care. I like talking about politics. And I do have a theory for why a lot of times when people do talk about politics, it just doesn't go well, and it's kind of considered taboo in our culture. And I think that's because people don't really have proper experience listening to other people's issues and, understanding and sympathizing what people are going through. Like, think of it this way. When you're a kid and you are having an issue sharing a toy with another kid, like a good teacher or, preschool kid watcher, they'll like pull you both aside and say, hey, what's the problem? Like, well, like, I want to play with the toy, but he had to, and he's not giving it to me. And it's like, well, okay, why don't we compromise? You can have the toy for a bit, and then they can have the toy for a bit. However, in politics, there's no mental development for having political conversations and listening and understanding and sympathizing with people the way there is for like basic concepts like teamwork and sharing and, more scientific things like mathematics and like the scientific method, which are taught extensively. So my theory is like, people have to like learn about this stuff more as adults. And it's harder to learn about things as an adult, unfortunately. And I think some people like literally can't do it. Like they literally can't listen to someone else talk about struggling to pay medical bills or whatever. And I'm not a political scientist, so I don't know if there is like a name for what I'm trying to express. But you can let me know, I guess. And I guess my main point with all this is I will listen to you. I'll have a conversation with you. I'll definitely mock mainstream bad faith actors, but like I'm not gonna like I wouldn't do that to like someone if you DM me or talk to me in Discord or in the comments below. I'm like usually sometimes overly respectful, to be honest. Number whatever we're on. I think even like outside of politics, I think we have too much of an individualistic community. I think we should have a more collectivist approach to things. I've talked to some people, who are trying to start their YouTube channels or whatever, and tried to like help them, and they help me too, and it's just great. I like those sorts of interactions, and I think that's why I made a Discord too, just to have some of those interactions and reach out to you guys and talk to you guys more, and you guys can talk to me more about whatever, whether it's board games or politics, books, anything. Number 26, my favorite political show recently is The Majority Report with Sam Cedar. And yeah, I think he just has like a better understanding of what's going on day to day than most people, while also having more of these like community-based values and more of like these like sort of help your neighbor sort of principles that I have. And like, we as a community should like make sure no one dies from lack of having health care. We as a community should make sure people are educated. But let me know what your favorite political show is in the comments below. This should be interesting. Again, please be respectful to other people in my comments section, which doesn't mean don't talk to them. It just means don't be an a-hole. Number 27, you may have guessed from some of my previous commentary, but my favorite show was the Michael Brooks show before Michael Brooks passed away in terms of political talks and stuff. Number 28 is I am a huge D&D nerd. I love Dungeons and Dragons. My favorite character of all time was a sorcerer named Garen, and the voice I used was just I thought it was so funny. Oh my gosh. So I know maybe like 2 people will get this reference, but there was these videos on YouTube called Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, and this guy would like dub over the voices, and the guy's voice for Tristan was, "Oh, the humanity," and it was just like an over the top like, and he made Tristan like very dumb, and my D&D character was pretty dumb and like low intelligence. And in addition to that, I also got inspiration from Michael Brooks's impression of Dave Rubin. And Dave Rubin is just like, a very vapid political commentator who like doesn't know about politics. And Rubin will have like these grotesque, shady, like white nationalist or like almost white nationalist, and like, people who say like, oh no, I'm not a white supremacist, I'm a white nationalist, and there's a difference there. And if you have those people on your shows, it's fine, but the first question is, why are you a white nationalist? Or like, why are you so shady? Why are you an international criminal? But like Rubin just gives like the most softball of softball interviews ever. And not to say that other people don't do this too, because obviously, but Rubin's like particularly egregious because he knows very little, like a shockingly small amount about politics. So Michael Brooks's impression of Dave Rubin is, it's just so funny. It's like, I just like talking about ideas. It's like Tristan from Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, but just toned down like a little bit. Just a little bit. And like very strongly and accurately mocking a real person, and that being Dave Rubin. And I'll post a video to close out this video, or a clip of Michael Brooks making fun of Dave Rubin, so you guys know what I'm talking about a little bit. But the context for this clip will be Dave Rubin did a paid sponsored propaganda video for the Brazilian government and their president Jair Bolsonaro. And like a week after doing that, Dave Rubin was asked a question about Brazilian President Bolsonaro, and it was like a super chat question. So Dave Rubin pronounces his name Bolsonaro, and he's like, well, I don't really know what's going on in Brazil, but like, you know, I think he has some good ideas. And it's just like, he clearly knows nothing, but he just did like a pro Bolsonaro video for the, oh my God, it's just, and like also Bolsonaro is just a horrible person, and he's, you know, had praise for the former Brazilian military dictatorship from the 60s and 70s, and oh my gosh, so yeah, for my character, basically whenever the DM introduced a clear villain or anything like that, I would just be like, oh, this guy seems like a good guy. I mean, we should get a drink with him. I mean, I'm sure he's just misunderstood. I mean, we did just see him murder some people, but like, I mean, it's okay. But yeah, that's the context for the clip, and that was my 28 facts. So thank you for watching, like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully you enjoy this clip of the late, great Michael Brooks.
Well, this is classic Rubin, because watch the 3 steps here. I'll just outline 3 steps. First step, hilarious. He's really dumb. Second step, he starts to go in the direction I wanted to be like, ooh, I should, yeah, I don't really know. I'm interested in ideas. And then the third step, we can now, with a totally straight and direct face, say, this guy, he's dumb, he's vacant, he's a fascist. Check this out.
What is your opinion on Brazilian Prime Minister Bolsonaro regarding, oops, there's a lot of things moving here, deforestation of the rainforest? P.S. I'm a Christian, I'd bake you a cake, though. You know, I don't know enough about him, but it sounds like he really hates Marxism, and he's really pushing Brazil to become more of a world leader, and that he actually is for capitalism, and he's trying to get some of the SJW stuff out of the schools. I just saw a tweet by him a day or two ago. So on that front, and I don't know a ton about him, that all sounds good to me.
The closest analog, I know we said this before, but it really would be like as if one of us, I would say all of us consider ourselves socialists of one degree or another. It would be as if, you know, I just went to North Korea and I was just like, a lot of us are more and more interested in train efficiency and making the ruling class work. Well, actually, no, because that would be too specific. It would just be like, I heard that there's a lot of socialism happening here.
And they don't like capitalists.
They don't like capitalism, and that's pretty exciting to me. So
I believe the phrase Joe Rogan used was cognitively limited.
If Dave Rubin is cognitively limited, then I will do a slightly different impression.
The closest equivalent I could think of is if somebody flew me to go to North Korea, or I just did like a North Korean YouTube propaganda video, and I was just like, you know, people are really interested in ideas and collectivizing the means of production, and then I get a letter, and I'm like, Kim Jong-un? Well, I don't really know much. I have to do more research, but I've heard that he's taking a lot of land away from the rich people, which I like.
And he was really good about stepping over.
They
into South Korea.
Yeah,
Like the South
he's
Korean
really
guy
kicking
didn't
into-
walk
Yeah.
over the line there. He stepped over, which I think is pretty cool.
He's
That's good.
really kicking it into gear with the piece and the weapons. So I don't know enough, but
He's
I
got great
think
public
he's
transportation.
got great public transportation. But so I think he's actually he's doing a really good job. But I would have
Really
to
good
learn
job.
more.
But I don't know.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Kim Suil.